Well, good morning, and glad it's Friday. Glad that you could join us together for a Prowler Up time. I'll bring you greetings from Kentucky, and we are set to go to the Ark Encounter here in a couple of hours. Looking like we're looking to get in about 1 o'clock and go tour the Ark. And kind of neat, from what I'm told, what we've heard is Ken Ham is actually speaking today, and so we'll get to hear him speak, hopefully, or Lord willing, and so looking forward to that. But we're pumped and excited to go to the Ark. Pray for us, though. Little rainy, little moisture in the air today, but that's fitting. I mean, I know we're not going to see a worldwide flood, but if there's going to be a flood here in Kentucky, the Ark's the place to be. So we're pumped and excited about it. Thank you for your prayers yesterday. Had a wonderful trip, uneventful, and so that's a blessing there. I want to go with you to Psalm 26 here this morning, and we're going to look at once again. We'll look at just one verse today, as I've read this throughout the week, kind of over and over again. There's just so much packed into these couple verses here in Psalm 26. They're just incredible, and so I want us to focus here this morning. We're going to focus on verse number 4. Here is our study, but I'm going to read through the first 3. I know we haven't really read through the entirety of it, so we'll do that today on this Friday. So let's begin. Psalm 26, look at verse number 1. The Bible tells us, "Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth." Then verse number 4, and this is what we'll be highlighting today. It says, I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. And so, really, we're looking at living a successful life for the Lord. A life of integrity, a life of great character, as David has mentioned here at the beginning of this psalm. And how is it that he could live for the Lord and maintain his integrity? He's walked in his integrity. We know David made mistakes in that, but we know that David had a heart after the Lord, and one that sought the Lord, and when he was confronted with his wrong, he sought for forgiveness and sought to change his ways. And so David here says, I have not sat with vain persons. If we're going to maintain our integrity, it involves us being around the right kind of people. And as it refers here to vain persons, empty, individuals who are characterized by things that do not matter, and spend their time, spend their life doing things that don't matter for eternity. And so when it comes to us living in integrity, living a life that is honoring and glorifying to the Lord, we must surround ourselves with people with the same goals, the same mindset that we have. And it's a mindset of, this world is not my home. I'm just passing through. It's the mindset of, we're a citizen of heaven. It's a mindset of, we're focused on things that will last for eternity. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy some of the things in this life. You need to. God has placed us in this earth for us to enjoy the benefits of it, but our focus should be on eternal. I'm kind of a fan. I like Tim Tebow a lot, and I wouldn't agree with him on everything, but man, he's just a great guy, a guy that loves the Lord. And he used his platform, he used his fame to give the gospel, and I so appreciate that about him. He recognized that he played professional football, a great college football quarterback, and I thought he did a decent job in the pros as well, especially as his first year and with Denver there, and I just appreciate his stand for Christ. You know, he would oftentimes put John 3:16 underneath his eyes in the black mark that they would put underneath their eyes, and to help with the glare and all that from the sun, and he just gives God the glory for everything. And he himself said, football's not everything. It's not the most important thing to him. The most important thing for him was his relationship with the Lord. And so we've got to have the right mindset. It's not all about the job. It's not all about the toys. It's not all about the vacation. And there's nothing wrong with those things. It's about eternity. It's about spreading the gospel, telling people about Jesus Christ. It's about people seeing Jesus in us. And so David says, I have not sat with vain persons. And I want you to notice here, he's speaking of the past in his life. He has not sat with vain persons, but rather look at the future here in verse number 4. He says, neither will I go in with dissemblers. And so he's now referring to his past. Hey, I have not, and then he says, I will not. I will not go in with dissemblers, those who we might lump in, those who are vain persons. We could look at the next verse, evildoers. And David here says with dissemblers, those who stir up strife and stir up problems. And he says, I will not go in with them. And we must, and everybody deserves to hear the gospel, but who do we spend our time with? You know, that's who we are like. That's who we are going to become. And there's a reason why. You know, if we spend all of our time with those who are complaining, what do people think about us, that we're complainers? We spend all those time with people who try to stir up trouble and difficulty, you know, and it's sad, but there's people in churches that try to do that, always grumbling, always complaining, trying to stir up and cause a problem in church. And sometimes there are problems in church, and they need to be dealt with, and they need to be handled. But many times, if it's a preference thing, you know, maybe it's time to move on. To move on from a relationship, and maybe if you can't, if you're not on board with the leadership in the church, that maybe it's time to move on. And I'm not saying there's issues in our church at all, but well, we've got a great, loving church family, and man, we're doing great things for the Lord. Excited about it, but if you're in a place in your life to where maybe it is time for you to move on because maybe your joy has been taken, and hey, you got to get the joy of the Lord back. And the Bible here, David says, neither will I go in with dissemblers. Let's be careful. If we're going to keep our integrity, we're going to keep our testimony, be careful who we hang with, and be around the right kind of people. And you are who you hang around. And at the same time, we've got to have a balance, okay? So don't misconstrue this at all. We've got to be around sinners if we're going to reach sinners. That doesn't mean we partake in what they're doing. We've got to be careful where we go, don't get me wrong. But the people that we get counsel from, the church family, the people we hang out with, man, we've got to be so very careful that we hang around. I want to be around. Get this now. Here's what it is, and I'm hopefully not confusing you. I want to be around people that love life, they love the Lord, and you can see the joy of the Lord on their face. And that's who I want to be around. That's who I want to be. I want people to see the joy of the Lord in me. I want them to be around me because, man, I am excited to serve the Lord. And that's who we need to be around. And you got to get around people like that. I was telling my teen class on Wednesday night. I teach the teens on Wednesday in church. And I was telling them this. When it comes to people, when it comes to who you're with, you know, we're guilty by association, and are we bringing people up, or do we have to have people bring us up? Are we lifting people, or are they lifting us? And we looked at David, and David at times in his life, man, it's so sad. David, following his sin with Bathsheba, is confronted about that sin by the prophet Nathan, and he's told by Nathan the consequences of his sin and so on, that his baby was going to die, and David mourned for his child. And the baby was sick for 7 days and passed away. And then David gets up, cleans up, eats, all that kind of stuff. And then it's interesting. He then goes to Bathsheba, who is now his wife. He goes to Bathsheba, and he lifts her up. He comforts her and encourages her. And that only happened because David got himself right with the Lord. Are we individuals that comfort and encourage others, or do we bring people down? Are we lifting people up, or do people have to lift us up? One of the signs of a maturing believer is one who lifts and encourages people. And I said maturing because we've never arrived. We're always growing. And so David says, I have not sat with vain persons. In the past, because he wanted to be an individual of integrity. And he says, neither will I go in with dissemblers. He's purposing in the future to be around the right kind of people and to get counsel from the right kind of people. And man, what a powerful thought that is for us today. And so let's surround ourselves by positive, joyful people in the Lord so that we can do great things for the Lord. And then, hey, let's be a lifter. Let's not have to be lifted. Let's lift people. And so hopefully that was a blessing to you today. And I want to encourage you to have a great day, great weekend. Hey, we're going to be back Sunday for services, so I hope you'll be there and look forward to joining you, worshiping the Lord together with you. It's kind of neat, and I'll just share this little story with you. We just had breakfast a few moments ago down the lobby here at our hotel, and man, just a lot of people, a lot of nice people. And we met missionaries, the Alversons, missionaries, they're military missionaries, and we met them in the lobby, and they had come to our church in California, Mountain Avenue Baptist Church, and he had preached there prior to leadership conference at Lancaster Baptist Church. And so it was neat to kind of catch up with him, and he remembers and knows Pastor Sadlowski, and man, it was just great. And so, hey, you don't know who's out there. It's just encouraging to see them, and they're an older couple, and they're continuing to serve the Lord. But you know what? They're lifters. And they encouraged me today. So, hey, let's be a lifter. Find somebody today. That's your challenge. Find somebody today that you can lift and encourage. And I want to encourage you to do that. And let me say this, and with this we'll close. And I know many, not everybody, or there's some that watch this and aren't part of our church family. I want to encourage you today. Be an encouragement to your pastor, to your deacons, to your Sunday school teacher. Man, they spend a lot of time preparing for lessons and leadership roles and so on. They need some encouragement. Oftentimes, all they hear is negative and things that are wrong. And so, hey, be an encouragement to your pastor, deacons. And I'm so thankful for my church family. They're such an encouragement and blessing to me. And man, I just love serving the Lord at Calvary Baptist Church. Well, I'm sorry I went a little long today, but want to encourage you to have a great day, great weekend. Don't forget Sunday school at 9:45, classes for all ages, and then the morning worship service at 10:30. Look forward to seeing you at church. If not, if you can't make it, look forward to watch our live stream, and then look forward to seeing you once again on Monday for our Power Up. Lord bless you. Have a great day and a great weekend.